Imagine for a second you're walking through a dusty museum, staring at something behind glass that looks ordinary, maybe even boring. But what if that object wasn't just an artifact? What if it was something that completely rewrote what we know about human history? Here's the truth: history isn't a straight line. It's a messy, twisted story filled with discoveries that appear out of nowhere, flip everything upside down, and force us to rethink who we are. And today I'm going to show you 10 objects, just 10, that did exactly that. From stone tools older than we thought humans even existed, to mysterious devices that look like they came straight out of science fiction, to symbols of power that shaped entire civilizations. These are the objects that changed everything, and here's the kicker. Some of them raise questions we still can't answer. So buckle in, because this is going to be a wild ride through the lost, the forgotten, and the unbelievable. And by the end, I promise you'll never look at history the same way again. Let's break this down into 3 big themes. Discovery, objects that forced us to rethink where we came from. Innovation, objects that proved our ancestors were smarter than we ever gave them credit for. Power, objects that shifted entire civilizations and shaped human destiny. And within those categories, I'll take you through 10 unique objects, some famous, some almost unknown, that literally changed history overnight. Part 1. Discovery. Let's start with the objects that forced us to rewrite the very beginning of the human story. Object number 1. The oldest stone tools, Lomekwi 3. In 2015, archaeologists in Kenya discovered stone tools that date back 3.3 million years. That's 700,000 years older than the earliest known Homo species. Let that sink in. These tools were made before humans even existed. Imagine the shock. For decades, we told ourselves we invented tools. That tools made us human. Then this discovery dropped and suddenly the story changed. Maybe it wasn't Homo sapiens or even Homo habilis. Maybe another species entirely was shaping rocks into hammers and blades. Picture an early ancestor, not quite human, but not quite ape, squatting by a riverbank, banging 2 rocks together, making sparks, making history. That image forces us to admit intelligence didn't appear overnight. It evolved slowly, over millions of years. And the line between human and animal got blurry. If you found a 3-million-year-old tool, would you feel proud as a human or humbled? Object number 2, the Rosetta Stone. Fast forward a few million years. Now we're in Egypt, 1799. Napoleon's troops dig up a slab of stone near the town of Rosetta. It's covered in inscriptions, 3 different scripts: Greek, Demotic, and hieroglyphs. Before this moment, Egyptian hieroglyphs were a total mystery. Nobody could read them. The entire civilization's voice was locked away. But thanks to this stone and the genius of Jean-François Champollion, the code was cracked. Suddenly, 3,000 years of history opened up. We could hear the Egyptians speak in their own words again. Imagine the emotion. For centuries, the hieroglyphs were nothing but pretty pictures. Then suddenly, they told stories about gods, taxes, love letters, laws. The Rosetta Stone gave the dead a voice. Now ask yourself, if one stone could open up an entire civilization, how many more are waiting to be found? Object number 3. The Dead Sea Scrolls. In 1947, a Bedouin shepherd threw a rock into a cave near Qumran and heard pottery shatter. Inside, scrolls hidden for nearly 2,000 years. They turned out to be the oldest known biblical texts. This was huge. These scrolls predated the Bible as we knew it. They showed variations, alternate versions, even missing books. And suddenly people realized the text we thought was fixed had actually evolved over centuries. Think about the emotional weight of that. For millions of believers, it was like peeking behind the curtain of faith. Not to destroy it, but to see its roots, to see that religion, like history, is alive, changing, human. And the crazy part? Scholars still debate whether all the scrolls have been released, or if some remain hidden. Part 2. Innovation. Now let's talk about objects that prove our ancestors weren't primitive cavemen. They were engineers, inventors, and visionaries. Object number 4. The Antikythera Mechanism. This one still blows my mind. In 1901, sponge divers off the coast of Greece pulled up a corroded lump of bronze from a shipwreck. Decades later, CT scans revealed gears, dials, inscriptions. It was a computer, built in 100 BC. It could track eclipses, predict planetary movements, even keep time for the Olympics. Something we thought was impossible before the Renaissance existed 1,500 years earlier. Imagine an ancient Greek turning the crank, watching the heavens move on a dial, predicting the future. And then imagine all that knowledge vanishing, forgotten for centuries. That's the heartbreak. Humanity had a computer and then lost it. Object number 5. The Baghdad Battery. In the 1930s, archaeologists near Baghdad found clay jars with copper cylinders and iron rods. Add an acidic liquid like vinegar, and you've got a working battery. The mystery? These jars date back to 200 BC. If they were used as batteries, that means ancient people had electricity almost 2 millennia before we discovered it. Were they electroplating jewelry, running small devices, or was it just coincidence? Nobody knows. But one thing's clear, the line between ancient and modern isn't as solid as we thought. Imagine being an apprentice, pouring sour wine into a jar, and feeling the buzz of electricity for the first time. No word for it. Just magic. Object number 6. Roman concrete. Here's one that hits home. The Romans built aqueducts, harbors, and roads that still stand today. Meanwhile, our modern concrete crumbles in a few decades. Why? Because Roman concrete had a secret ingredient, volcanic ash, that actually allowed it to heal itself when exposed to water. Modern engineers only cracked the secret recently. That means the Romans had better building tech than we did, until the 21st century. Think about that. We lost 2,000 years of progress because one recipe vanished. How many bridges collapsed, how many cities crumbled, because we forgot. If you could bring back one ancient technology, today self-healing concrete, ancient computers, or early batteries, what would you choose? Now let's talk about objects that weren't just discoveries or inventions. These were symbols that changed entire civilizations. Object number 7. The Spear of Destiny. Also known as the Holy Lance, this is the spear said to have pierced the side of Jesus on the cross. Legends say whoever holds it cannot be defeated. It passed through emperors, kings, and dictators. Hitler himself was obsessed with it. Whether or not you believe the legend, the idea of the spear shaped centuries of power struggles. Think about that. One object, real or myth, could inspire wars and change the fate of nations. That's the power of belief carved into steel. Object number 8. The Sword of Gujian. Discovered in China in 1965, this sword had been buried for 2,000 years. But when archaeologists pulled it out, it was untarnished, still razor-sharp. How? The metallurgy was so advanced that it resisted corrosion for millennia. This forced historians to rethink ancient Chinese science. If one sword was made like this, what else did they know that we've lost? Imagine the pride of the king who held it, knowing his blade would outlast time itself. That's not just a weapon, that's immortality in steel. Object number 9. The Terracotta Army. In 1974, farmers digging a well in China stumbled on one of the greatest discoveries ever. An underground army of over 8,000 life-sized clay soldiers built to guard the tomb of the first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. Each soldier is unique, different faces, hairstyles, armor. It's a snapshot of an empire frozen in time, but more than that, it showed the scale of Chinese power and ambition. Picture standing in that pit, surrounded by an army that's been waiting for 2,000 years. It's haunting, it's awe-inspiring, and it reminds us how far people will go for legacy. If you could leave one monument to be found 2,000 years from now, what would it be? Object number 10. The Roswell debris. Okay, let's end on a wild one. In 1947, something crashed near Roswell, New Mexico. The official story, a weather balloon. But witnesses reported strange debris metal that was thin, flexible, and unbreakable. Whether you believe in aliens or not, the Roswell incident changed history. It launched modern UFO culture, inspired countless investigations, and fueled technology rumors. Some even claim reverse-engineered alien tech jump-started our electronics revolution. True or not, the Roswell debris represents something bigger. The human hunger for answers, for contact, for meaning beyond ourselves. So there you have it. 10 objects that changed everything we know about history, stone tools older than humans, the Rosetta Stone that unlocked language, the Dead Sea Scrolls that shook religion, the Antikythera Mechanism that proved ancient genius, the Baghdad Battery, Roman concrete and lost technologies, weapons and relics that shaped empires, and mysteries like Roswell that keep us questioning today. The lesson: history isn't fixed, it's alive. Every object we dig up has the power to rewrite the story. So here's my challenge to you. Next time you see something behind glass in a museum, don't just walk past it. Ask yourself, could this change everything we know? If this video got you thinking, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share it with someone who loves history and mystery as much as you do. And tell me in the comments, which object blew your mind the most? I'll pin the best answer, because history isn't just about the past, it's about the secrets still waiting to be found. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious.